I had 30 days to learn how to draw, or accept that I would stay trash forever. 30 days, no experience, just a pencil, and way too much free time. Going from an absolute beginner with no knowledge whatsoever to being actually able to draw? Spoiler alert. I did not become a pro artist, but I did master one thing though, a crippling imposter syndrome. As a kid, I loved to draw. Every time I was bored or feeling down, I'd grab a pencil and start sketching. But I've never really took it seriously. I mean, what is this? What is this? This looks like a toddler having an existential crisis with a pencil. Skipping forward to now. I just graduated as a machine learning engineer. My full-time job, you ask? Well, sending out hundreds of job applications. So, like any normal person with a lot of free time, I decided to become an artist overnight. No plan, no clue, just vibes. And heads, lots of heads. I started by sketching to get a feel for the pencil, focusing on what I found beautiful, the eyes. I followed some tutorial online and did a pretty decent job for my first day. Next, I drew anime characters from reference, Momo from Dan Da Dan and Power from Chainsaw Man. Momo turned out to be surprisingly well, and I remember feeling so happy with it. But the problem was, I was too afraid to ruin my first sketchbook that I spent a lot of time copying instead of actually learning. That's why, in the next day, before even picking up a pencil, I consumed hours of drawing content from my heroes Sam Does Art and Proco. I learned a lot about constructing the head using the Loomis method. I tried to apply what I learned, but I struggled. Faces were either too wide or too long, and the jawline looked so cooked. On the next day, somehow, I ended up drawing something I was really proud of. This one. I loved it. It felt like something was finally clicking. So, I decided to study ears because I just couldn't figure them out. And well, they actually turned out good. Now, remember when I said it clicked? Yeah, it didn't. That one drawing was just a lucky shot. I couldn't replicate it, no matter how hard I tried. Everything started looking bad again, and I couldn't even do the Loomis method correctly. I got really frustrated, to the point where I thought maybe art isn't for me. But then, I found out this book, Fun with a Pencil, by Andrew Loomis. It really brought me back. I had fun following along, and it really helped me build my confidence back. So I kept pushing forward. Here, I did some anime faces because they felt easier and was a nice confidence boost. This was my first mistake. I didn't keep my goals clear and simple. I started this challenge to learn how to draw faces, but ended up wanting to practice figure construction and gesture, which wasn't ideal since I lacked the fundamentals. I came to learn that there is no shortcuts in art. Here is a portrait of Jinx from League of Legends. It's not good. With my current eyes, I can see a lot of bad things about it, but I was so proud of it at the time. As for the figure drawing, even though I was happy with it, I came to know that I wasn't really learning anything, but mindlessly copying with bad proportion. Even when I tried to simplify it to shapes, I was getting a lot of the proportion wrong, simply because I lacked the dexterity and the eyes for it. This was my second setback. I realized that the time I spent on gesture drawing caused me to forget what I had learned. since I didn't reinforce it with portrait studies. In denial, I kept doing more figure drawing, but everything started falling apart. Nothing looked good. Out of many attempts, I'd barely get a single decent drawing. Ah, yes, the Squidward era. Here, I tried drawing beautiful women and accidentally created the next evolution of Handsome Squidward. Finally, I went back on track and started drawing heads again, while doing some exercises to improve my dexterity and hand-to-eye coordination. I've also been studying hatching and shading, and I have to say, I really loved how the eye and nose turned out in this drawing. It's like something finally clicked. I kept practicing with more head sketches until I decided to draw Power from Chainsaw Man again. And whoa, this time it actually looks so much better than that monstrosity I made earlier. Then I drew this one, which boosted my confidence even more. Around this time, I joined Sam's Patreon because I was so obsessed with his style and wanted to study his drawings. I was finally liking the faces I drew more. Honestly, I enjoyed it so much, and I started noticing my lines improving. Sure, I still had my fair share of bad drawings, but I was hitting the jackpot more often than not. I also started focusing more on Disney-style characters because they just looked so fun to draw. If there is one thing I've learned from this challenge, it's that I really love drawing. I can spend hours on a single piece, only for it to turn out terrible and still laugh it off and move on happily. For 30 days, I drew every day, pushing through imposter syndrome, procrastination, and self-doubt. With each piece, I found myself loving the process even more. From characters like Jinx to even semi-realistic portraits, I just kept going. For the final piece of our sketchbook, I wanted to recreate a page I did in 2022 to see if I've actually improved. But hey, I'll let you be the judge of that. I've kept drawing consistently for the past 3 months, and I've got into digital art. So if you'd like to see my progress, please leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.